Please help me with my stones. I know most of them, but this one I can't remember the name, but I know this is definitely representing money. And so we're going into all things Taurus now. Earth, natural resources, what we value, all things Venus, beauty, what we want and desire for ourselves. And we have a triple conjunction, which means 3 planets or placements are in the same sign. What sign is this? Taurus, the one that I'm talking about. We have Mars in Taurus. Mars is the individual planet that's normally ruled by Venus. I'm sorry. Please take that back. I don't want to go back because we already in a minute into this clip. But Mars is usually ruled by Aries, okay? And it is in Venus's sign, Taurus. That's what I meant. So Mars in Taurus is at its detriment. Mars also rules Scorpio, which is the opposite sign of Taurus. So the reason it's in its detriment is because it's not comfortable in any sign but the signs that it's ruled. And if it's in one of those signs, opposition signs, put Taurus is opposite from Scorpio, and Scorpio is also ruled by Mars. It does not do well. Mars is the planet of action, impulsivity. So anything in Taurus likes stability. It likes to take things slow and make sure things are accurate, especially if finances are involved. And it likes to make sure its resources are in order and things of that nature. So Mars being impulsive, Taurus is like, well, let me chill this out. Let me slow this down because I don't get it this way. I don't get it this way. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, Mars is also in Uranus. Uranus rules Aquarius, okay? These are planets that normally rule fixed signs, like Mars rules Scorpio, a fixed sign, and Uranus rules Aquarius, a fixed sign, and it's in a fixed sign as well. Uranus being in Taurus is a fixed sign, but Uranus does not do well in Taurus either. Why? Because some of the fixed signs just can't deal with being unique, can't deal with being rebellious. Taurus signs, again, they want to value things. They want things to be beautiful and desiring. And Uranus is like, well, it could be beautiful and desiring, but we're going to rebel against anybody who doesn't want it to be that way. We're going to be innovative and find new ways to be beautiful and unique. We don't want to look like everybody else. You know, it's a collective sign. It has to do with finding the groups. Uranus is a collective planet. It has to do with this, finding the groups that fit that group that you fit with. And then we have the North Node in Taurus. So these are the triple conjunction planets, okay? Or placements. The North Node is not a planet. It is a, how can I explain this? It's a polar energy from the moon that the collective follows in order to get the best results. The opposition of that polar is Scorpio in the South Node that is moving away the collective so that we can get those results from the North Node, okay? So, I'm gonna call this triple conjunction breakups, breakdowns, and breakthroughs, okay? Because that impulsive Mars that has to deal with your individual self probably doesn't value certain things the way we used to. Probably wants a different love or value for finances, the way we beautify ourselves and look at ourselves. And we want to take action on it, but it's a slow action because, again, Taurus, that bull, does not want to change unless it really sees something to change for. And then we have Uranus, the rebellious, tantrum throwing kind of. If you're in a relationship, you could be going back to the basics. I know that Y'all don't see my new bae much because we want to do it in a different way. We want to not rush. We want to not exploit our relationship to the wrong people that might not have the best interest for us. And personally and ultimately, that is why Mars personally and Uranus, the collective sign, ultimately all of us are making changes somehow, forced to be making changes. I have a big zit on my eyebrow. Forced to make changes. So this triple conjunction is also expired energy. It's like we're over this. We are over the world right now, ourselves, the collective, the way we've been doing things. Again, Mars is taking action on the change. The Scorpio South Node is pushing us away from the old toxic, non-desirable things and helping some of us move away from our fears as well with that Scorpio South Node. Why are you holding yourself back is the question that I wrote down. So when you think of your finances, especially us as a collective, why are we spending money on certain things? For instance, and a lot of Tauruses are going through a lot of changes right now, especially financially and relationship-wise. Taurus, again, is ruled by Venus that rules our relationships, our feminine energy. So, long story short, spoke to a Taurus who was getting a divorce. Spoke to my mother, who's a Taurus, who had me pick her up for the 10th time because she locks herself out of her car all the time. And instead of finding out another way to not have to pay to get a new key from the dealership and the Uber to get out there and back, is to figure out your finances and figure out things that you value. Do you value this car enough to keep buying a new key for it, or should you get a new car? Or should you start taking the Ubers? I don't know, but things have to change. Tauruses can be very stubborn. They don't want to change. They don't want to give up the things that they used to value, but now in this conjunction, things have expired. It's time to move on. And finances in our relationships. I know that, not talking about my own personal relationship, but a lot of divorces come from one person holding down the household finance-wise, another person holding down the household responsibility-wise. That's the right phrase, but Taurus is a responsible sign. All the other signs are responsible, especially financially. So if you put that pressure on them, sometimes they might expire from that energy. They don't want to do it no more. They don't want to value that relationship if the finances are not balanced. And that's one period. So the triple conjunction, and I'm sorry this is so brief, y'all. I have a lot to catch up with because we also have this full moon coming up. The triple conjunction is still in effect. It came in August the 1st. Most of its energy is died down by now because we're on August the 7th. But I want to say Uranus is getting ready to go into retrograde too. Mars will move out of Taurus very soon and go into Gemini. And when it goes into Gemini, it'll be there for about 8 months. Mars will finally go into this retrograde. It's a really difficult retrograde that I'm seeing because it's lasting so long and it's in an air sign. We'll have to talk more about that, but this conjunction has also changed collectively. I haven't gotten into that really quick. Collectively, we are looking at the changing of the US dollar sooner than later. A lot of people think it's not going to happen for another 10 years, but it's already happening. The crypto coins are dropping tremendously. The stock market is dropping tremendously. We have the US dollar declining and metals going up like gold and silver. If you were smart like me in 2020, you bought some silver and you're hiding it until it gets nearly over 4 digits, which it already is. And lastly, talking about Taurus, you have to keep in mind that Taurus is a bull. What is a bull? a male cow. And there's lots going on with cattle, meats, beef, in farming. Large farming companies are totally getting ready to flip. So pay attention to this Taurus energy, because Uranus will be in Taurus, I believe, until 2024. Dealing with the collective and changing our ways, the things we value, our finances, our foods and resources. And so the North Node will be in Taurus until July 2023. So we have a long way to go with this change of finances and resources. Jump on the bandwagon. We are not trying to propaganda y'all to death. We're just trying to prepare you. When we're talking about earth signs, you have to really think about finances and prepare your resources. Stock up.